Okay, good morning. Hi, I am Anna Imagination, and please excuse the frog in my throat. I am getting over laryngitis. We're going to go ahead and talk about box breathing and meditation, and this is considered part two or the overview of how you can take meditation and use it to apply a change in your life. This is a huge tool when you are in therapy, when you are enduring trauma, when there's anything in your life on your wellness journey that you're consciously saying, I want to change. This is how it's done. And this is my goal with any meditation, with anything in life. I fall back to meditation and I apply it. So here's how. I'm going to liken meditation and living life like we're driving a car on the highway. So assume that you're going 60 and 85 miles an hour. That speed of driving feels like a certain way. Whereas if you're on in the streets driving and you're going 10, 15, 20 miles an hour, it's a completely different feeling of driving. And the reason why is because when you're on the highway and you're approaching an exit, you have a lot less time. That's the emphasis. A lot less time to make a decision to get that exit. So you have to think a lot faster, and that increases stress. Now, if you're on street city, if you're on a parkway in city living and you're approaching your exit and you're only going 15, 20 miles an hour, you have a lot more time to think about taking that exit. This is something that I really noticed when I went from living upstate to living in New York City. In upstate, 500 feet goes like that. In New York City, 500 feet can and has taken 30 minutes. So it's one of the things in my brain that I've had to learn how to adapt to is interpreting 500 feet in New York City for its own traffic time. So, and that matters because it determines how soon you want to put on your blinker. So upstate, as soon as your GPS says 500 feet, you have to flip on that blinker because in 3 seconds, 10 seconds, you're going to be on your exit. But here, 500 feet could be 30 minutes in the future, so you don't want to put your blinker on. You have a lot more time. So, taking that analogy, we're going to now apply it over to real life and meditation. And this is how it works. This is it, really. When you're living life and we're all set to a rhythm and we're all tuned into an energy level and an excitement level, if you're running through life at 80 miles an hour, and most of us are, then your reaction time is what we're talking about here. Your reaction time is a lot shorter than if you're pausing and you're calmer and you're stopping and you're thinking. So when you're barring through life, when you're pushing through life, and say you're at the grocery store and you're thinking about dinner on the table, picking up kids from karate class, and you're pushing your car and you see a line and someone bumps into you, your reaction time from stress and anxiety and pressure and overwhelm to anger is going to be 2 seconds. But when you meditate, you have trained your body to take a greater reaction time. You pause, you stop, and you reflect, which lengthens your reaction time. So that is really what you are conditioning yourself to do when you meditate. And by taking stimuli and conditioning your body to respond to the stimuli in very much a Pavlov dog slash brainwashing method where you associate stress with meditation, you start to increase your reaction time. So you slow down. And that is slowing down. It is giving yourself a larger reaction time so that when somebody bumps into you, you're no longer screaming. You're stepping back, taking a deep breath, and assessing the situation, realizing that the person who bumped into you tripped and actually fell on you and they're injured. But with that reaction time shortened, you're not going to take time to notice that. You're going to just blow up at an injured person. And that is the purpose, one of the many tools and purposes of meditation. And it's the approach that I take. So when I started meditation, I deliberately chose one very important stimuli that I knew was going to provoke anxiety, frustration, and anger. And that is driving my car in New York City. When I step into my car and I sit down behind the wheel, sometimes I can feel my anxiety rise right away. It used to be this way. So I would put in my meditation app and deliberately do deep breathing, eyes open, deep breathing while I was driving until I associated driving with calm, slow, deep breathing. And what happened over 30 days and 60 days was I started to associate something as stressful as driving on the Deegan Expressway or driving on the Bruckner with meditation so that I calmed. As soon as I sat behind the wheel, I felt this wave of calm just fill me. I would be on the FDR going 5 miles an hour and I would feel relaxed. And because I brainwashed myself, I conditioned myself to associate stress with breathing, what ended up happening is if I felt my stress, last night was a great example of this. If I felt my stress rise, then instinctively, because I conditioned myself, I started breathing. I was on the BQE last night and there was a car accident. So it was like 2 miles an hour for an hour. And I didn't get stressed. Everyone around me was honking their horn and speeding and trying to get through the 2 mile an hour traffic. And I was just breathing. So that is how powerful you can take meditation once you get into the habit and practice of just slowing down. It's literally a method of teaching yourself patience. That's what you're doing. So, when we first started meditation, and I said, get in the habit, just get in the practice. What you are doing is conditioning your brain to associate a time of day with breathing or a stimuli with breathing. Our subconscious memory is kind of stupid. And a great example of this is a story my girlfriend once told me. She grew up watching her parents have violent fights. And she explained to me how this one fight, her there ended up being blood on the floor. And the floor was black and white checkered. Her subconscious took several things that day: people screaming, violence, and checkerboards, and plugged those three things into her brain as being linked to danger. So that to this day, when she sees a chessboard or a checkerboard, she has anxiety. Our subconscious is really stupid. That's just the way our subconscious is. It doesn't have the capacity to filter out what is and isn't danger. It just builds association. Our brains, our subconscious do the same thing in everything, where we will plug random, weird, irrelevant items or words into our memory bank and associate and develop an association with it. So, knowing you have this programming already in your brain, our brains are hardwired to do this, take advantage of it. Deliberately teach your stupid subconscious to link stress with breathing, and it will do it. Do it so that when you have a cup of coffee, when you smell coffee, condition your subconscious to take a few deep breaths. And what you want to do is this: you take your cup of coffee or tea or protein shake or grass protein, whatever it is you drink. your grass smoothie, and you smell it. And I don't mean just smell it, I mean inhale deeply, do the box breathing, inhale through your nose, 2, 3, 4, hold the breath, 2, 3, 4, exhale the breath, 2, 3, 4, exhale out your mouth. When you do that and do it 3 times, the 3 full cycles, this is box breathing. Do that while you are holding the smell, the coffee, the whatever you've got up to your nose, and truly, deeply inhale so that after 30 days, you will associate, oh, I can smell coffee, let's meditate. And your brain will immediately do it. Do it with do it with the coffee. Do it with driving. Another one that I do that I love doing is when I see a garbage truck because I know, oh, that's going to be stressful. Now I'm stuck behind a school bus or a garbage truck. So if I see a school bus or a garbage truck, I immediately deep breathe. And now I've got the association. So to this day, if I'm driving, I mean, I'm already calm, I'm already there. But if I see the school bus or the garbage truck, I stop and I take 3 deep breaths. And I this is like a side thing that I also recommend you do. There's something called gratitude journals. Gratitude is absolutely linked to a happy life. The more gratitude you show, and it's November, how appropriate. The more gratitude you show, the happier you are. So, one of my favorite things to do, especially when I see a garbage truck, is I remember the garbage strikes of LA. I remember reading and seeing what a garbage strike looks like, and that makes me really appreciate the garbage people and the garbage trucks in New York City because we know what that would look like. Now, when you tie it into the fact that these are people who every day, every time they go anywhere, they've got an impatient line of people honking their horn at them, they get abused a lot for a really dirty, disgusting job that no one wants to do. So I'm really grateful to these people because not only are they essential, and good God, am I thrilled that they are going around picking up the garbage in New York City, but they are also some of the most abused people who confront their job every day. And no one wants to do that job. So I am really grateful to garbage people. Really, really grateful to the people who go around and do that job. So when I see a garbage truck, not only do I pause and meditate, not only do I stop and I take intentional deep breaths, but I also take time to remember and be grateful. Boy, I am so glad they are here in the city right now picking up this garbage so we don't have to look at it or smell it. And I am so grateful that they are willing to do the job that I sure as hell won't do. And I make a point of smiling at them and saying thank you as I drive by. And doing that action enforces the concept of pausing and slowing down. And if I had never stopped to pause and meditate while seeing a garbage truck in New York City, I never would have also filled that time with appreciation and gratitude, which I then make a point of extending to the people who do that job. So take it a step further, and this is like stage 2 of meditation. So you want to continue to establish the habit because you are really brainwashing. You are purposely, in a very healthy way, brainwashing your brain, your subconscious, to respond to a stimuli that would normally stress you out. And you're going to reverse it. And always start with the most stressful stimuli. Always, always, always. Pick the most stressful thing in your life and purposely go after it. And side note, if you are an addict, if I don't like that term because that's such a label, if you struggle with an addiction, just because you have an addiction does not mean you are an addict. Let's get away from labels, please. That's abusive. So, if you are battling an addiction, if you are struggling with an addiction, meditation is the cure. Like, well, okay, you can't cure it. Meditation is the coping skill, the healthy coping skill that replaces the addiction. Because a little brief here, if you when you have an addiction, what you're really doing is avoiding your fear, you're escaping, and you have a fear here that you don't want to look at, so you run away. You run away to the addiction because the addiction is your familiar and comfort zone. This is where comfort zones in this case are very toxic. And that comfort zone provides you with comfort while avoiding the fear that you are terrified of. That's all it is. So, if you have a different kind of coping skill, a different kind of avoidant to get away from the fear, meditation, you're still running away, but you're not doing something destructive. You're doing something healthy. So, you have a healthy coping skill like meditation. Now, the fun part about using meditation to help you overcome your addiction, if you replace your addiction of alcohol, addiction with porn, addiction with cigarette smoking, addiction with television watching, addiction with masturbating, and you convert it over to the addiction of meditation reduces the fear. It calms the fear and the anxiety. Whereas any other addiction, you're not you're still avoiding and you're enabling. With meditation, you're no longer enabling the running away. You're no longer enabling the fear. You are still addicted. You're just now addicted to meditation, but you're not enabling it. So, and that's why addiction is so hard to shake, is because there's the comfort zone and the enabling and the addiction itself. So start with meditation. Use meditation as a your next addiction. Become addicted to meditation because that wipes out your enabling. And that allows you to get a handle on the fear and the anxiety. So then you can address the fear and get through the anxiety. And that's like I cannot begin to tell you enough how effective this is. It's very powerful. So if addiction is something that you struggle with, cigarette smoking, pick something and really replace it with meditation. Do your best to really focus on you have a feeling, go ahead and divert it over to the meditation. Use meditation as a instead of grabbing that alcohol or instead of smoking that cigarette, I'm going to meditate. It's not going to be easy. It sounds easy. It's not easy. But really, if you're not there yet, then keep meditating, keep associating lowering your stress with meditation, and then once you're into the habit of it, start start applying it. Start associating meditation with that impulse urge. There's a lot more I have to say about addiction, but I'll stop it for now because I want to focus on the meditation. But that is really where we're going to go with it. So continue your box breathing. Continue associating and building up that habit. If you just got into the group and you are still looking to direct and figure out how to start with meditation, you are looking at 3 breaths every day. Pick a stimuli of your choice. Let your mind wander. Your goal at this stage is not to clear your mind. We're not doing that. That is advanced meditation, and you're not there yet. This is beginner meditation. So, all we're going to focus on is building the habit. Let your brain think about bills. That's okay. Do the count 1, 2, 3, 4 box breathing and get into that habit. Pick a time every day, pick a stimuli. Every time you smoke your cigarette, definitely every time you smoke your cigarette. Every time you drink your coffee or your tea or your grass protein shake, whatever it is you have, smell it and do that breathing. Every time you sit behind your car wheel, pause, breathe. Every time you see a garbage truck, every time you see a school bus that you have to stop for, pause and breathe. Eventually, and this is the beauty of that subconscious being stupid, the subconscious will associate your increased level of stress, that cortisol going up, and then the breathing. So your brain will take over and say, "Oh, you're stressed. Let's breathe." It's great. It's wonderful. So that's why you want to get into the habit of it. If you have already established the habit and you're looking for stage 2 of the next level and you want to increase everything up with your beginner meditation, then what you're going to want to focus then on is building up that association. Write a list of the things that stress you out the most in your life and start working your way down. Start with the most stressful, and that's where you need to create that stimuli so that you meditate when you get that trigger, that stress trigger, when you get that whatever it is. The other part of all of this beautiful stuff is our bodies have a lot of symptoms, of physical symptoms when we're stressed. It could be sweats, chills, shaking, it could be tightness in your chest. Everyone has it. So next time you're stressed, I want you to really sit back and examine where you feel your stress in your body. This is huge for cognitive behavioral therapy and pausing and redirecting. Where do you feel your anxiety and your stress? Do you sweat? Do you shake? Do you stutter? Do you get a tightness right here in your chest? Does your throat swell up? Do you feel tightness in your throat? Do you feel it in your back all the way down? Do you feel it in your neck? So, and what'll happen is for me, I feel tightness right here. That's where I feel it. So when I feel the tightness, I go, "Oh, there's that tightness. Breathe." And it's now at a point where my brain subconsciously associates the tightness with breathing. So I feel tension and I breathe and the tension goes away. And that's where you want to get. Once you're at that point where you're constantly meditating many times throughout the day, you are effectively managing your stress levels and keeping it down. And that is how it's done. Then you can start upping it to, all right, now I'm going to clear my mind. Now I'm going to unlock my third eye. Now I'm going to use something to change my life and alter a behavior that I don't like through meditation, which I will be showing you in step 3. But for now, and if you want to know what it is now, go ahead and message me and be like, "Hey, what's step 3 now?" Because I really want to know how to change my life. That's what I do. So, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I'm at 21 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap that up. But my name is Anna Imagination, and I offer fear and anxiety coaching. I am a accountability coach, and I do wellness journey life management. So if any of that interests you, go ahead and message me, and I can give you a quote. I can give you my brochure. I can go over more of it. I am so passionate about the work I do. So please reach out if you have any questions. If you need any hand holding at all, you let me know. So thank you again so much. Please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And my website is devilsdungeonnyc.com. And it is also angelabchrysler.com where you can check out my books. So thank you again, and may the kindest of words always find you.